Hello, my wonderful Java learners. Welcome back to our whiteboard tutorial series. Today, we are diving deep into a truly powerful and essential feature of Spring Boot, profiles and configuration. This topic is crucial for building robust, adaptable applications that can seamlessly run in different environments, whether it is your local development machine, a testing server, or a production system. Understanding Spring Boot profiles will elevate your application development to the next level, making your applications more flexible and maintainable. We will cover the core concepts, how to define and activate profiles, use them with configuration properties, and look at some common pitfalls. So, grab your virtual pens, and let us begin this exciting journey. Alright, let us start with the fundamental concept. What are Spring Boot profiles? Imagine you have an application that connects to a database. In your development environment, you might use an in-memory database like H2, but in production, you would definitely use a robust, persistent database like PostgreSQL or MySQL. Similarly, logging levels, external service endpoints, or even security settings might differ across environments. Spring Boot profiles provide a way to segregate your application's configuration and components based on the environment in which they are running. It is like having different sets of instructions for different scenarios. You define these configurations and then, at runtime, you tell Spring Boot which profile to activate. This ensures your application behaves correctly without needing code changes for each environment. It is incredibly efficient and prevents configuration errors. Now, let us see how we actually define and activate these profiles. The simplest way to define profile-specific properties is by using naming conventions for your configuration files. Spring Boot automatically picks up properties from files named application.profile.properties or application.profile.yaml. For example, you can have applicationdev.properties for your development settings and applicationprod.properties for production settings. The application.properties file acts as the default, applying to all profiles unless overridden. To activate a profile, you can set the spring.profiles.active property. This can be done in several ways, via command line arguments using -spring.profiles.active is equal to dev as a system property, or even within your main application.properties file. It is a very flexible mechanism that allows you to switch configurations with ease. Beyond just property files, Spring Boot profiles can also control which beans are created in your application context. This is where the add profile annotation comes into play. You can annotate a add component, add service, add repository, or even a add configuration class, or a add bean method with add profile, dev, or add profile, test, staging. This tells Spring Boot to only register that particular bean or configuration class when the specified profile or profiles are active. For example, you might have a mock user service for your development environment and a real user service for production. By annotating them with add profile, dev and add profile, prod respectively, Spring Boot ensures only the appropriate service is loaded. This is a very powerful feature for creating environment-specific implementations of interfaces. Let us put this into a practical example. Imagine we have a simple application that needs to connect to a different database URL based on the active profile. We will define two property files, applicationdev.properties with an h2 database URL and applicationprod.properties with a PostgreSQL URL. Then, we will use @configuration_properties to bind these properties to a Java object for type-safe configuration. Finally, we will activate the prod profile to see our application pick up the production database settings. This demonstrates how profiles, property files, and @configuration properties work together to provide a robust configuration management solution. This approach is highly recommended for managing complex configurations, as it provides strong typing and validation, reducing runtime errors significantly. While profiles are powerful, there are a few common mistakes developers often make. One common mistake is forgetting to activate a profile, leading to the default configuration being used unexpectedly. Always double-check your activation strategy. Another is inconsistent naming of profile-specific files. Ensure you follow the application profile.properties convention. Also, avoid hard-coding environment-specific values directly in your Java code. Always externalize them using properties files and profiles. A best practice is to always define a sensible default configuration in your main application.properties file that can serve as a fallback. Use @profile_prod to define beans that should not be active in the production environment, for example, developer tools or debugging interfaces. Embrace type-safe configuration with @configuration properties for better maintainability and error checking. These practices will save you a lot of headaches in the long run.